Yeah, it's the second Nations League match then for England as they take on Finland live on talkSPORT tonight. And it comes off the back of a 2-0 win over the Republic of Ireland on Saturday. Lee Carsley takes charge then of his first home match in this interim basis of the Three Lions. And he was asked in his press conference if he prefers the role of coach over manager.
I think in coaching now, managing, head coach, I think there's an evolution that you've seen within players and positions. I think we've got a lot more specialists now within football, people that are a lot more qualified and better at talking about different things than I am. You know, coaching is my passion. It's what I think I'm quite good at. So, you know, I think the benefits of that are, you know, that John McDermott has put me in a position where I can do what I'm good at rather than what I'm not good at, and hopefully I don't let anyone down.
So that was Lee Carsley then talking ahead of this game, Troy, at Wembley tonight. The evolution of manager to coach, how have you sort of seen that over the time that, you know, you've been a player, and even in your spell as a manager as well? Or were you a coach?
I wasn't there long enough to qualify for anything, so I was just a stopgap is what I call myself. Right, no, I think it has changed. I think clubs and football have moved on from Sir Alex and Wenger being all-encompassing. They run the whole show. I think you still get the odd couple, Klopp, Arteta and Pep, who have a lot of say because of the success that they've had. But when you look at it in general, everyone now has got a technical director, a head of recruitment, scouting, and the manager's job or the coach's job in this situation is deal with the players that you've got and come up with a style and a philosophy, and then everybody else's job is to make that work. Now, does it always work? No. We're seeing even now with like Newcastle where there seems to be disagreement with Eddie Howe wants a certain type of player. The club haven't been able to provide that. Now there becomes frustration and tension because ultimately for Eddie's sake, if he doesn't hit the right target audience and doesn't win goals or the metrics, then he gets a sack. And the director of football can say, we tried.
Which is why, in that instance, when you are the technical sporting director, director of football, all the different titles, when you bring in your man, that's fine because you're all aligned already. But the difference with Newcastle is it's a new sporting director.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's not Dan Ashworth who was working with Eddie, it's now Paul Mitchell, so it's very different, and you are going to have these clashes, aren't you?
Absolutely, and it's the fun side of football that fans don't get to see, where you see behind the screen, and it's actually a lot of ego, a lot of my agenda must be more important than yours, and then it's normally the ones who can work together and probably figure out that both people are right and both people are wrong at the same time.
Yeah, the dynamics is always fun, isn't it, behind the scenes, which, as you said, a lot of us wouldn't have a clue about because
Absolutely,
we're so naive to it and just think it's all harmonious.
Yeah.
But it isn't all the time. Tell us then of what you saw on Saturday that you liked from England.
I liked that Jack Grealish was in like that 8 position. I think when you have somebody like Jack who naturally can move out, and he occupied the right-hand side of Ireland. So Ireland were trying to sit in and minimise space for Gordon, who I thought was excellent again. But with Jack being able to move out and just float, it made it kind of lopsided. We have a lot of players on one side of the ball, one side of the pitch, where we have the ball. And we were playing good tempo stuff. I thought, with greatest respect to Ireland, I thought they were poor. So it was better to see us dominate a game and never really look in trouble. I thought, total honesty, if we're going to be what we all want, which is Euro winners and World Cup winners, I still think there's a killer instinct missing for us. It's just a feel. It's not like what I'm seeing. It's just my feeling. I don't see us going and like battering them 4-5-6-0. Well,
we saw that second half. They sat back a little bit. They didn't.
But it's like job done. And it's that catch-22, isn't it? It's like job done. We've got to go again in a few days.
Yeah.
Do we really need to do this?
And is it job done, as you say, knowing that you feel like the opposition can't really hurt us?
Exactly. Yeah, and it is difficult. But I think for what we all want as fans, you go on, go and kill them. Put your foot on the neck and really take them to task. But then I think everything that Lee's saying at the moment in terms of go to Wembley, go to Wembley, you want to go see against Finland, you want to see attacking football, you want to see Harry Kane mark his 100th appearance with loads of goals and just an exciting all-round day. And I just think at the moment he's doing everything right to get the job full-time.
Of course, Finland are the lowest ranked side in this group. So there are expectations, like you say, that we could see a bit of a goal fest. But although we don't tend to see that as much these days in international football across the board, maybe that's because as I say, even though Finland are the lowest ranked nation, that kind of stark contrast between sides doesn't seem to be there as much as it used to be.
Yeah, and obviously they're still professional and they've still got pride. And, this is their big day, isn't it? Coming to Wembley playing against England. So you always have to have that expectation that teams are going to put up a bit more of a fight than they probably should. But for what we have with the squad and the new manager and loads of new opportunities being available with people retiring and moving away from the national team, you'd like to think anyone who gets their opportunity really steps on the pitch and goes, right, let me show you what I'm about. I think when I looked at Angel Gomes when he came on, and I know Andros and Sam Matterface were doing a really good job on the broadcast, but he was just like, give me the ball, give me the ball. You just watched him and you were like...
It was like the Duracell bunny.
It was, wasn't stop. It? But when you watched him, you were like, oh, he's desperate to be there.
Yeah.
And I just think that's a really great thing that we should have with everyone moving forward.
But is that because he's worked with Lee Carsley before under 21 level, so he already knows he's got the backing of his manager because he worked with him a fair bit, and then... It's also that this is my first senior cap. There's so much to like about that one moment for him.
Absolutely, but then it's also enjoyment for football.
Yeah. What
a great opportunity this is. And I think we're starting to lose that a little bit now because a lot of the players are getting more at a younger age. It's becoming, this is just the norm.
Yeah.
When you look to like Morgan Gibbs-White, for example, when he came on, yes, he buzzed around, but he didn't have that same energy and youthful... You just looked at someone and go, he loves football.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping with a lot of the other guys when they come in, hopefully over the next 2 games that they'll start to show that.
Gomes and Gibbs-White are good mates.
Yeah.
Did you see the little thing that Gomes said about when he found out he'd earned his first cap and was speaking to his dad about, I don't know if Morgan has got the cap as well or got the call up anyway. And it was like, his dad was like, come on, just give him a call. And it was that thing of... The silence on the phone, like, you're in. So I love that. I love the fact that they're good mates off it. Yeah. And it means so much to these players that, of course it does, gosh, we're not naive to think that. But I just think it's absolutely lovely to see some of these young faces getting their chance.
Absolutely.
Because that just shows that pathway.
And how many times have we done squads and looked at squads and spoken about it and it's the same faces at the same times and we're like, well, how did player X get in? And he's been playing poorly for his home team. Or how did player X get in and he's not even been playing for his home team? So, it's good to see. Hopefully this is a bit of a shake-up, new manager, new feel. Let's have some fun. There's no expectation that we're going to win everything. I know England fans think we're going to win it. We haven't won anything since '66. But let's keep this progression of getting close and, hopefully have a tournament now and a style of play that we can all get behind and go, right, that's what we want to do. Yeah.
Well, that is kind of partly what it's all about, that style of play, isn't it? Because, look, we did see progress with Gareth Southgate.
Absolutely.
You get to 2 finals, that's progress. We haven't had that for a very, very long time, as you pointed out, with the 1966 World Cup. But it was just, sometimes we were there a little underwhelmed by what we were seeing from the talent that was in that squad.
Yes.
And look, it's one game already and we can't suddenly go off and be like, this is it, we're going to be world beaters, like you say. But there is something there for us to just think, oh, there is potential.
Yeah, and also, again, it's been it's one squad selection and there's a few nuanced circumstances around it, like Jude Bellingham being injured, for example.
Yeah.
But younger players coming in, like new people, fresh blood, a new way of thinking. I think everyone in that squad won't be sitting there going, oh, I'm a shoo for the World Cup.
Yeah.
They'll all be thinking, right, I need to be on it and make sure I'm doing the right thing. So for me, it's great to see, and I'm interested. I think we're going to talk about it a bit later, but the number 9 situation will be really interesting for the World Cup because Harry Kane's come out now saying he thinks he wants to do similar to what Ronaldo does, keep playing.
Inspired by him.
Yeah, and keep playing, until basically the wheels fall off, and then. It's interesting because a month ago, everyone was saying Harry Kane's finished and he's done. Right. So it's just the nuances of football, isn't it?
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.